if you've played football, you know, if a goal is scored immediately after you've given the ball away, or immediately after you've made a mistake, that thing sticks with you more
for
than
the
if you
rest of
score
the
goals.
match.
Exactly.
For the rest of the match.
So now, there is a baptism of fire to say, if you play against a capable team like Sundowns, and you make a mistake, they will punish you.
Great run. He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster.
Hello and welcome back to the Diski preview show. We're here every week to give you the latest and the greatest predictions on the latest soccer matches that are coming out of the South African calendar. Sometimes the African calendar, and soon and very soon we'll be heading back to Africa. Going to talk about the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup. I'm not alone as usual. I'm joined by one of our astute, one of the members of our astute team of analysts, bookmakers, predictors. And today we've got Len in the hot seat. Len, how are you doing?
Salmonan, we're back again. I was on the bench last week. I see the guys did a good job with predictions and stuff. The semis are already here. Can't believe that it's almost over with the Carling Cup.
Yeah, it's almost over, but I made a mistake. I said Chiefs was going to go through. Sundowns Osala.
This is football.
Sundowns at 1, 2, 3. Naklimi TV. Watch the news. What's it for?
Guys, have you seen who's in the semis, eh? We got Marumo, we got Richards Bay, we got Magesi. Who would have thought, eh?
Who would have thought? But don't forget, if you have not joined the Betfred family, you can do so right now by going on your mobile device, your smartphone, your tablet, and just go to betfred.co.za. And guess what? The website is getting a revamp. So if you've been there before and you go there now, you're not going to find the same betfred.co.za. And don't forget, the offer is you can get up to 500 free spins and up to 5,000 Rand in cash. Bonus money.
You got
in your
quick
bonus
payments,
wallets.
friendly service.
Yeah.
Follow us every day. Betfredsa.co.za.
100%. Let's get straight into the show. Yebo. So as you can see, the excitement is quite high. It's the Carling knockout. For those of you who are like us, you looked at your trusted Betfred.co.za, you're like, hey, what games are playing this weekend? Hey, man. Games are missing. Postponed here, postponed there, postponed. But don't worry, we got news that obviously we're going to be playing the Carling knockout. So obviously it's going to be the Carling knockout this weekend. Then it's going to be the PSL next weekend. International break. After that, we come back with obviously the CAF Champions League. Yeah. So obviously we have to talk about the teams in the semi-final. You touched a bit on it in the intro, Guti. There's 4 teams left. Do you want to give us another overview of those 4 teams before we talk about our first 2?
Yeah, We got 2 surprise packages on Saturday.
Okay.
Richards Bay.
Yes.
Almost lost their PSL status in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the new boys in Magesi are in the semis.
But Leo Combo, guys, come on, guys. Leo Combo.
No, it tells you there's a lot of improvement in SA football. That much I can say.
And I know we're talking about that semi-final. Let's talk about the other semi-final. Just let us know what 2 teams are playing there before we go back to...
On Sunday, we're going to Bloem.
Yes.
Marumo Gallants taking on Sundowns. Zoba Mnandi this weekend, guys.
All right, so stay tuned if you want to watch us talk about that game. But for now, let's go first into the first game. Richards Bay, sitting 15th last season.
Yebo.
They go to the playoffs. They play against the Wits, and I forgot who was the other team. It's not Venda Academy, man.
Was it no, it can't be Baroka. Was it Baroka?
I don't
remember the other team. Yes.
But it was Wits, because I remember Wits impressed me in the Nedbank Cup. So when I saw that they were going to play in the playoffs, I was excited to say, Wits Yandlula. Yeah. And not Wits, University of Pretoria. And
Itax.
Yeah, Itax, yes. I'm a tax. So it's one of those situations where because you're like, les indlul.
Yes.
Next thing you know, Richards Bay is like,
every match in the playoffs.
Where was this team the whole season?
Football will kill you a real
death.
Yeah.
And then, in my case, on the other hand, newly promoted.
Unknowns.
Yes,
we thought it was a fluke against Pirates, but look at where they are now.
Yes.
That's why they say your league form has got nothing to do, has got no bearing on a cup match.
Yes.
I'm happy with what Clinton has done to take the boys to the stage that they're at.
But he did it the difficult way. You have to give him credit for that, because you knock out the Cup Kings themselves.
Yes. It's changing the weather in this country.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Because, when that match came along, I remember we sat here and we said, I called from a KSC. Next thing you know, the next day, on Kama trend, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
So tell me more about like their journey in the Cup and what do you think we're going to see of, what are we going to see from this team in this game?
What I've noticed in my case from the first game against Pirates in the last 16, we mentioned their style of play, playing with their wings.
Yes.
Most of their goals come from crosses. These guys might not have shots at goal, but they have a lot of corners, which is rare in SA football.
Yes.
And you expect it from a team with full of white players.
Yes.
But these are township boys who know how to put that pinpoint cross, go Makubu or whoever's coming from behind him, and they make football look fun, something different that we are enjoying. A lot of teams can learn from that.
Yeah.
My surprise in this match is Richards Bay. How did they get here?
Well, I'll tell you how they got you. First, they survived the relegation. They came back. They played like a house on fire.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at their form the other day and I was thinking to myself, I was like, we actually overlooked Richards Bay because of that relegation scare.
Yes.
Now that they're back this season, what do you think has changed between Richards Bay of 2023-24 and Richards Bay of 24-25?
I'd say it could be the mandate they were given and the scare of surviving the playoffs. They had to improve, and they did.
Yeah.
They did. I'm very proud of what the coach is doing with the team there. You look at the two games, the last two matches they won in this Culling knockout. Both matches, not more than 4 shots at goal.
Yes.
You understand? And you look at ball possession. They never had possession, but they knew how to convert their chances. Big ups to the keeper as well. He saved their blushes most of the time.
But so clinical. Because one thing about Richards Bay in the previous leg, they got there, they kept the clean sheet. They made sure they took Cape Town City all the way. They were like, Anindao. If we're going to the penalties, Hamanan.
Yes.
And they managed to win in the penalties. After that, the 5th penalty they missed. Because don't forget, Cape Town City missed, I think, the 3rd penalty.
Yes.
They missed the 5th penalty, and then the next round of penalties they went through.
That's
So
sudden death.
what's different about them? Because they're not playing a riskier type of football anymore.
No.
They're playing a lot more controlled. They might not have all the possession, but in defense, they're excellent.
They know how to absorb your pressure. That's what I've noticed as well. Big ups, you called it well last time. You said they're going to go all the way to the penalties. Well done on your prediction.
Yes.
And then, guys, I think, like I said, the knockout tournament is not the same as your league game. You're only playing for the next match.
Yes.
Which I think the two coaches in this Saturday's upcoming Saturday matches, that's how they've been planning for this Culling knockout. They're taking each match as it comes, which is well done to the two coaches.
So here's something that I thought was an advantage for Richards Bay over Cape Town City.
Yes.
Richards Bay had no worries about the league.
Yes.
The same way we can argue that Magesi had no worries about the league.
Yeah,
They didn't have to worry about, we have to go play in the league. They were like, so Tata, the best 11 we can. And we want to put them into the match.
Yes.
And Cape Town City, like I said last week, their risk is going to be that they think they're a bigger team. So they want to rotate players.
Yeah,
now that both these teams are basically full-footed in the tournament, we must make it to the final. Do you think we're going to see their best 11s again? Do you think that one of them will be like, hey, let's rest a few players in case we don't go through? Or do you think it's, throw the whole book in the kitchen sink at these guys?
These two so-called small teams that are playing on Saturday, Richards Bay and Magesi, they're going to go all out. It's going to be fun. I'm expecting goals in this match. Because both of them, you remember when we had a chat pre-Pirates versus Magesi?
Yes.
I said, if Clinton Larson says to the boys, go out there and have fun, no pressure, which is what they've done until now.
Yeah.
Now they're playing a team similar to their level.
Yes.
It's going to be hard for
That has
both
nothing
sides.
to lose.
Yeah, but it's two different styles. One can absorb pressure, the other one can attack dangerously with their corners.
And
that Makubu up front, we Magesi, he knows how to hold the ball. He's played against tougher teams like Chiefs and Pirates already. That builds confidence. You got your full backs. They're strong at the back. The two Mukones, they're playing well. I see Kakora, the crosses coming from Obomashiho. They're having fun, these boys.
Do you not think that now that they can smell the trophy,
Yeah,
Because I remember back in the day, there used to be this theory that the only reason why Liverpool won the 2005 UEFA Champions League is that when the players were leaving the tunnel, the Liverpool players didn't look at the trophy, but the Milan players looked at the trophy.
From 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From 3-0 down. So do you not think that now that they can smell the final, they can, all we need to do is beat Magesi, all we need to do is beat Richards Bay, Sandrula. Do you not think it changes the attitude of the players and they become a little bit more nervous going into this match?
I wouldn't say that. Let's look at the first edition of the tournament last season. Who won it? Who gave Stellenbosch a chance?
Yeah.
I think it's a cup where you can expect surprises.
Yeah.
Smaller teams come to the party when it gets to these stages of the Carling knockout.
So speaking of Stellenbosch, they were knocked out, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
So what is your prediction for this game?
This one's going down to the wire. This one's going to go down to the wire. I would say Magesi would have an edge.
Yeah.
Everything is new to them. It's
So
like taking the kid to the candy shop. They just want to grab onto everything that's close to them, and I think this cup is there for the taking for them.
So basically, if you're going to compare them to someone, you're comparing them to Germany 2014.
Those boys had nothing to lose. No,
Yes.
Germany 2014 was in Germany.
No, it was Brazil.
Oh, it was in Brazil.
Yes,
Yes,
Germany
remember when Brazil
Germany
lost
that beat
7-1?
Brazil, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
These boys are having fun in this tournament. I see them playing the same style. I saw the last two matches, the last 16, the last 8. They played the same style. They won 1-0, yes. They didn't have possession. Where did that ball come from? Crosses. I'm thinking coach Richards Bay has to be careful with these fullbacks. They mustn't try and say, this is a small team like us, let's attack. Those wings are very dangerous, Gumakes.
It's going to be a big one. Do you want to predict if it's going to be in 90 or beyond 90?
Should it end in 90? I'd give Magesi 2-1 or 3-2.
Yeah, man.
Penalties is a lottery, guys. It might go there for us to be entertained as well.
All right. We'll continue the conversation. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget, Betfred is giving you that one-time offer. If you join today and you open an account with us, your first deposit will be met with up to 500 free spins and up to 5,000 Rand in cash bonus monies in your bonus wallet. So make sure to visit betfred.co.za for more information. Right, the conversation continues. If you're just joining us, you missed out on the prediction for that first game. Magesi are going to be taking on Richards Bay FC. It's going to be an interesting one. Two teams that were not expected to make it this far. Speaking of teams that weren't expected to make it this far, we're sitting now in a second semi-final.
Yeah,
It's Marumo Gallants taking on Mamelodi Sundowns.
Eish.
And I want to talk about Marumo Gallants for a big reason.
Yeah.
Stellenbosch is a team they met in the previous round.
Defending champs.
Defending champions.
Yeah.
And the whole consensus was, these guys made it to the final of the MTN 8. Stellenbosch is that team.
Yes, they should make the semis.
Semi-final is nothing.
given.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because they're facing Marumo Gallants. You're like, no, man, don't do that, Liz.
Yeah, these guys are struggling.
Then they get there, poo, they're out. So what do you think is that thing that gave Marumo Gallants the edge over Stellenbosch this time around?
I think it's Stellenbosch themselves. They're playing on too many fronts this season. They're playing in every cup tournament domestically. We got, the league and 3 cup tournaments. They're playing in Africa. They sold their best players. I would say they're still regrouping. They're trying to find new combinations. But now, everything's happening too fast for them to adjust or adapt. It's. I think it's a blessing in disguise for them as a team to be knocked out of this tournament. They can focus on Africa. They can focus on consolidating a good position in the league. I don't see them going for another cup tournament.
Yeah.
Even the Nedbank Cup, I don't see them going for it.
So what about Marumo Gallants? I mean, this tournament now presents a unique opportunity for teams like Marumo Gallants to go on and challenge for a title like this. Do you think they're looking at their chances against Mamelodi Sundowns and going, look, let's forget the league for a minute. Let's invest all we can in this cup competition.
Yeah.
And maybe we're lucky and we knock these guys out.
They only need 2 matches to win this cup, eh? And they've got the semi at home.
Yeah.
Should they beat Sundowns, the final is still in bloom. You understand? You remember when Tisha Diski, we had that round table, when you mentioned the people of Bloemfontein, the crowd, the former Bloemfontein Celtic fans.
Yes.
it would mean a lot should Marumo beat Sundowns. They would come out in numbers for that final. Remember when Marumo played Kaizer Chiefs in the beginning of the season?
Yes.
They came out in numbers. They need this game. They got nothing to lose.
They really don't.
They don't have anything. They got nothing to prove.
Yeah.
Let them go there and everyone exhibit who they are on that pitch.
So I'm going to start the conversation with Sundowns by going, what are your thoughts on Marumo Gallants? I've never actually asked you this question ever since we've been having this conversation. So what are your thoughts on Marumo Gallants, and have your thoughts changed from the start of the season to now, or is it still the same
I'm
sentiment?
still saying what I said after the first 2 matches of the season. Marumo Gallants knows the DNA of this team. He's always been there. He's not a new coach. People don't understand that. He knows these boys inside out. Look at that stroke of genius putting on Utebza Mokoena against Kaizer Chiefs. He bossed that midfield. It's like he bought a new player. Like everyone was saying this, infighting, Sundowns and all that. But it was a blessing in disguise for Sundowns to lose Rivaldo Kutsie in the match before that. Rivaldo is a bit slower. He's a bit younger. These boys were Chiefs. They could have had a match against him. Now you bring a Bafana star against a young Kaizer Chiefs midfield.
Arguably the best midfielder in the country.
No, these boys look up to Utebo. Now he walks in onto that pitch. They're like, ish, there's Tabes. And then that pattern that Umangoba played. Who goes and plays with 3 strikers against Kaizer Chiefs? FNP. When
the
Chiefs.
front three of Ribeiro.
Ribeiro, Shalulile. Like they're all dangerous. No Rainers. Against Kaizer Chiefs, like from the first 15 minutes, it will tell you Sundowns is dominant.
My question is, Unabi,
yes,
was he not aware of these boys' CVs?
But Unabi attends every Sundowns match with his technical team. But then Umangoba had a very good plan where we didn't just hold on to the ball like the Sundowns, We went attacking. Those boys are they are proven. Like you got internationals in that Sundowns team. I hope it didn't demoralize Abomfundo, Abo Shabalala in that match. They learnt a lot for me.
I think Abomfundo are not the problem when you refer to the Kaizer Chiefs setup.
Yes.
They're young.
Yes, they needed such a challenge.
They needed to get a
how do they come back from that?
Because sometimes the biggest problem about young players is that when we're graduating them, we overlook their deficiencies.
Yes.
To say,
but
going forward.
Yeah.
But we can sacrifice that he can't go back.
Yes.
So a baptism of fire like that, if you've played football, if a goal is scored immediately after you've given the ball away, or immediately after you've made a mistake, that thing sticks with you more than if you score a goal. Exactly.
For the rest of the match.
So now, there is a baptism of fire to say, if you play against a capable team like Sundowns, and you make a mistake, they will punish you. Because even that
they learned the hard way. I felt sorry for the boys, but they needed a wake-up call. This is the big league.
And
boys.
4 of the same goal.
Yeah.
Left to right. Left to right.
No, it was Mangoba's strategy. You look at these central midfield, the Kaizer Chiefs. They had who Blom.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Mart with him. Those guys can't do anything to a player like Utebo Khomkwena, where behind them there's 3 Oaks. They still have to help that back 4, you guys are Chiefs. And you got a ball carrying striker like Ribeiro. Who do you mark?
And you've got the experience, intelligence,
of all
the
of them.
Speed of Shalulile. Because that through, funny enough, I'm thinking about that goal. That goal where Shalulile runs across the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same goal that Luis Diaz just scored against the...
It's the experience.
You see, like...
It comes with experience.
And you have to think about it. It's the trust. Because one thing that people never talk about with such goals is the trust between players.
Yes.
The fact that Shalulile kept running, knowing very well what
it's gonna come, and they know where it's gonna land.
Exactly. These boys are gonna pull up for the offside trap. I'm gonna be clean through, and all I need to do is finish.
No, you know what? We have to give up props to Umangoba. He had a plan. It worked out to the T.
I think better than the T. I think it was way better than the T. I think going into this game, obviously we're talking about a cup game.
Yes.
Sundowns this season are a different animal. Mangoba has argued that, listen, we're no different from last season. Don't forget, at this point of the season, we've not won a trophy. Last season, Rulani. But one thing we're seeing now is the same that we're seeing at Liverpool with Arne Slot. Rulani was more position-based. right?
Yes.
Klopp was more counter-attacking based. When Arne Slot comes in, he introduces possessional football. All of a sudden, his team is unbeatable because for most of the time they have the ball.
Yes.
Now,
And then
Sundowns,
they're using it wisely. They're not running like they used to.
They're not
you,
running
you,
like
you,
they
you
used
don't
to.
see Trent Alexander, nor Robertson
exactly.
bustling forward. You understand? But they're still doing everything right.
Exactly. And in fact, Robertson's not even the first choice left back anymore. But let's move on from that. You look at Sundowns.
Yeah.
Rulani, Sibami Bola, we build up at our own pace.
Yes.
We make sure we go to
the goal
against
the goal will come.
The goal will come.
Yeah.
You understand? Ushalulile just has to wait. Now, you get Umangcobo who says, no, man, Ushalulile can run.
Yeah, I got Reyners, I got
No, I got Ribeiro.
I've got a ball-carrying striker like Ribeiro can play a 10 during the match.
First 9, tuck these boys inside.
Yeah.
You look at how they're building up now. It's basically the same thing that happened at Liverpool, but here it's different because they went from having possession of football to now introducing a counter-attacking element.
Jeez.
Because they transition so quickly.
Yeah, as soon as that ball crosses that center, that halfway line, Jesus, these guys, it's like they're calling each other or sending WhatsApp messages during the match to say to the left, to the right, in between. I'm stopping. You go. Like,
but it shows
they are well synced.
They're well drilled.
Yes, attack Sundowns, and I don't know if you've noticed every match that they win, Mangoba is complaining that we could have scored more. I think that's his game this season. He wants goals. He wants teams to tap out.
But I get what he's saying because when Rulani was being knocked out of the CAF Champions League, my one argument in my mind, I didn't say it out loud, but my one argument was that when they need goals, they can't get them.
Yeah.
Sundowns will get goals in games where teams are coming to them.
Yeah.
But the moment it got to a point last season where teams were like, you know what, when these guys arrive, so shall they move?
Yeah, we're just gonna low block.
And
let them play.
And the thing is, I remember. I keep making references of English football, but I remember when Coutinho was sold to Barcelona.
Yeah.
And for about 4 or 5 seasons, Liverpool couldn't break down a low block.
Because they didn't have that one man who can dribble past defenders.
So now you're looking at Itimega Rulani. They couldn't break down a low block, but they had the players to do it.
Yeah, but the strategy wasn't to break down Elon.
Exactly.
It was to keep possession and hope
suck you out.
Yes, and then that through ball, Shalulile runs behind the defense and he scores. But now you got different types of strikers now. You got Ureinas. I like the way they're clicking up front. But with 3, whether you use Shalulile with Reinas or Ribeiro with Shalulile, you still get the same results.
As South Africans, we thought that Ushalulile was coming in. Ushalulile was going to get replaced by Reinas.
You know what? When Ushalulile has to thank his teammates and his coach because he started the season badly. I remember there was a match when he came on and they gave him an armband. It was to motivate the player. Your day will come. And it came just 2 matches before the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
And he started scoring. And with the supplies receiving from that midfield, I don't think he's gonna stop anytime soon. Because if he's not scoring, he's creating. But the front three are scoring freely.
I was reading an article recently. I know we're going overboard with this game, but I was reading an article recently where they were saying that as a country we should invest in keeping Ribeiro around. We must invest in keeping this guy here. And I was thinking about him, like every Brazilian like of that nature, like Ribeiro, you can
South
see,
Americans,
but there's something about him that's just different. I mean, Allende is a South American as well.
Yes,
but Castillo Sereno is a South American as well.
Yeah,
but you look at Ribeiro. Ribeiro is that kind of South American player that has output. Instead, not only is he building you up in transition and in position, but Magafia in front of the net, he just finishes. And he has an eye for goal, and he has that that vision that you can say this guy has eyes behind his head. He has that kind of vision.
He knows when it's one touch. He knows when to hold on. He knows when to stop and go. Like if someone would ask you what is a typical Brazilian player like, I'll just say Ribeiro.
I think for the longest time, we've taken the flag to such a high regard that we don't actually judge players on how good they've been. Mafia going to see I'm Brazilian, but again a strike.
But he's been consistent since his first game last season against Chiefs when the season started.
Yes,
he's been playing the same way.
But now he's comfortable in South African football.
He's more comfortable, and I think he understands the culture better. Yeah, of our type of defenders. Like he's noticed a lot of things. He's improved from the good player he was.
And if you think
He's a
about it,
contender for player of the season right now.
Yeah.
He won't, I'm not saying he is the player of the season. He is a contender.
we must not be quoted saying that he was the player of the season.
Yeah.
He's a contender.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the conversation around this match in particular. Obviously, we must get down to our prediction.
versus Mamelodi Sundowns.
Do we just see Valela City, Marumo Kohlwa, don't even show up on the day? Shall you walk over? Because
This is a cup game. Chomosono said you are only as good as your previous game. That 4-0 is gone. And that 4-0 could be motivation for Marumo to say, we're not Chiefs. Let's go and play these guys. You understand? What is there for Marumo to go and study about Sundowns? They might change 9 players from the previous game. You understand? And you still get it the same way all in machine.
Downs has depth.
They got too much depth for a team like Marumo. So I don't see Marumo going to scratch their heads, crack their heads, thinking, where's the Sundowns' weakness? They must just go and play their football.
Yeah.
Do what Magesi did against Pirates. They didn't look at the names. They just looked at the color. Oh, this is Pirates. Let's play. Marumo must go out and do that. They got the crowd behind them. The whole of Bloemfontein, the Chiefs fans would be shouting for Marumo in Bloem.
The Pirates fans too, you know South
Exactly. You understand? So it would be nice for the big guns to all go out, you understand, and give the smaller teams a chance. So you can say, yes, Sundowns has got the numbers, but Marumo also has some backup. And the motivation is, let's do us and forget who we're playing. We're just playing a yellow team.
Well, the yellow team, they call themselves the Brazilians. They have a Brazilian up front. So I'll have to ask you from that perspective now, where's the threat going to be from a Sundowns perspective?
Sorry?
Where's the threat going to be from a Sundowns perspective? You did say there's a chance they might rotate.
Yeah.
They might choose to forget about that front three and maybe leave 1 or 2 of them.
But also, luckily for Sundowns, they've got the international break.
Yeah.
So they might not need to rotate a lot in the squad because they still have 10, 14 days to rest for some of these players. But yeah, whoever's playing for Sundowns is still going to be the same result.
All right, so let's get down to your predictions, sir. What do you say? Who's taking this one?
I see Sundowns going to the final.
Okay.
I don't see 4-0.
Yeah.
I don't see 4-0. They went to the Chiefs game with a different mindset. Like Chiefs, there was hype behind it.
Yeah.
But with this game, I think they will just play to win it.
I think Leia Chiefs was that thing of Bokshang in Parma. And then when you go around the whole hood,
yes, you understand. They wanted to prove a point. They wanted
this time.
Yeah, they wanted Chiefs to tap out, which they did. So in this game, maybe 3-1 to Sundowns. But Sundowns should win this match.
All right, you heard it here first. The Sundowns should win this match. Before we let it go, I just want to get a prediction recap from Ulen. Let's start with that first game. Marumo Gallants, they're taking on Magesi. What is your prediction in that one?
The new boys, in Magesi, if I Magesi this weekend, I think they should edge it by a goal. Predicting the score, I would say 2-1 to Magesi or 3-2. I see goals. So should you go to our website, betfred.co.za, go to Carling Knockout on our soccer page. There's a lot of money to be made on correct scores and over 2.5 goals in this match.
All right, next game is going to be Sundowns versus Marumo Gallants. You're going with?
I see Sundowns scoring at least 3 goals. Marumo should score. They're playing at home, but Sundowns should win this game.
So in your perspective, what you're saying is the new boys will face the old card in the final. Will be Sundowns versus Magesi.
It would be nice. You'll get a lot of fans from the other big teams should Magesi make the final.
All right, that's what we have to leave it this week. Don't forget, we'll be back again next week. We've heard your cries in the comment section. We'll try. We're going to do our best to post more content, more vigorously, more on time. And we're going to be exploring other avenues of, giving you the match recaps and all that. So, Mr. Producer will make avenues. We will be on camera to give you the feedback. And yes, indeed, make sure to go place your bets on betfred.co.za. Until next time, I'm Mo and this is Len. And we'll see you right here on the Diski Preview Show, right here on YouTube. Sponsored by Betfred, brought to you by Betfred on Betfred YouTube channel.